So it is Tuesday, the 3rd of February, and it is 6:37 p.m. And on the weekend, I set myself a goal of using this evening when I came back home from work to set up my space to record YouTube content tomorrow. And that's after work in the evening, because I want to make sure that I can be consistent with my channel. And also batch filming content helps massively, but I try not to do too many videos in advance. And one of the things that I do is I just have like a plan and a strategy in terms of, right, these are the titles, these are the thumbnails, but obviously nothing is scripted, but I know what I want to talk about for each of these videos. So basically, I'm just going to talk and also set up so you can come with me. Now, the good thing is when I done this last time, I have more of a clear idea as to where I want everything to go, which makes a massive difference, because the first time I done this, it took so long, and no one necessarily really talks about the time it takes to set up for filming YouTube content, because it can be a lot. But one of the things that I want to tell you about is, first of all, when you watch this, you will be watching this when I will be recovering from surgery. So I need to have major surgery, and it's because I have multiple fibroids, and my fibroids are large, with the largest one sitting in my uterus. And so for me, when it comes to my YouTube channel and, you know, only recently coming back, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything during my recovery period, which is going to be 6 weeks, but I've worked to set as much up as possible so it can be scheduled to just go out on the relevant days. So I'm still being consistent within that regard. And obviously this is all about built through discipline, not hype. And so when it comes to my surgery, like I said, it's major, it's open surgery, and I don't know how my body's going to react. I don't know how I'm going to personally react to it. So I've just been doing everything that I possibly can to be mentally prepared for the unknown. And I can share that Monday was a really tough day for me as I was thinking about it, because it's a lot in terms of thinking about, okay, I'm going to be on the operating table for a number of hours, and fair enough, I'm going to be out. But then when I come out of that surgery, what does that then mean for me? I am a super active person. And whether it comes to, you know, movement, doing stuff, and, you know, being productive, that is me. And so this is going to be a massive shift for me for a period of time. But I also think, do you know what, it's probably a good thing in the sense where I get time and space to actually slow down and just view life from a different lens, and have that time to just reflect and just think as well, and not necessarily really do much. And it's probably going to be good for me in the sense where I feel that my body does need to go into a period of rest and recovery, and being able to come back stronger than ever. And so that's surgery. And then also alongside that, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is fabrics. And this is already part done as well. So when it comes to fabrics, I just want to share that when you are creating products, designing products, I cannot stress the importance of wearing and testing your products. It is absolutely essential. And sometimes it can get, you know, you can get into the space of opening a package and being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, it's beautiful. But then when you wear and test, it's a whole different ball game. And so I've had to revise the fabric for a couple of my products. And the really weird thing about it is the fabric that I'm now going to be using is the fabric that I actually originally wanted. And it's amazing how life can work out sometimes, because say, for example, when it comes to delays, because of my surgery, the date has been changed a number of times. So that has led to delays. But actually, when I reflect back, I am so freaking grateful for those delays, because those delays have led to beautiful paths and also experiences as well. And I remember once when this was in, I can't remember what month it was, but my surgery, when I got told, it was in December actually, or was it late November, December, and they said, oh, we're going to have to cancel, we're going to have to reschedule you. And I broke down because I was so prepared for it, and it was literally the next week. And I was like, I can't believe that they're doing this to me again. And I remember putting it in my family group and saying, my surgery's been scheduled to this day. I don't want to talk about it. And actually, when I reflected back, probably as it got to the weekend, I was like, this is the best thing that could have happened. And so when it comes to just life and delays, it's so important to think, do you know what? What are the potential benefits from it? Even though it can be so difficult to even get to that headspace and get to that point. But the way how everything has lined up for Athletesia is incredibly beautiful. And if it wasn't for those delays, it actually wouldn't have happened that way. It would have been a different scenario. And so I always just like to look at life from a different lens, and it's just fascinating, some of the things that can happen. And, Steve Jobs said it best, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect the dots looking back. And so I share that just from the viewpoint of, delays, they don't have to be the worst thing. They could just be something that is leading you in a better direction and giving you that headspace and time to actually think about what is next and, actually think through some of your decisions and so on. So that's probably the major thing right now, is just getting everything sorted from a fabric perspective, being able to wear and test, and then also sharing that with the Athletesia community. So if you are on the waiting list for Athletesia, I will be sharing an update on that. And then also, I am so excited to share the actual final collection with everyone as well. So if you're not on the waiting list, definitely get on it. I'll share it in the description. And I feel that that's probably the major thing. There is more legal stuff going on as well. I think, when is there never legal stuff going on? And I can't wait to share more about that. And it's so interesting because I saw someone share a post recently, and I love what they said about one of the topics that I'm looking into right now as to what they wish they'd done when they started out. And I was like, okay, right, great. I'm on the right track with that one. So, oops, sorry, I don't know if that's messing up my mic. And I'm trying not to do this in my face, because otherwise Osmo Pocket 3 is going to say it can't find me, and then it's not going to find me again, which is a nightmare. Okay, so that's that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to bringing you additional content during my time that I will be recovering and speaking on various different topics. But I'm truly, truly grateful for your support, for watching, for subscribing and staying with me. And thank you to those of you who leave comments. I will always reply to everybody. And I love the fact that YouTube now has the voice note feature as well, which is super freaking dope. So I will always do that too, as and where I can. But apart from that, there will be so much more coming up. But I now feel that I need to, after this, I'm going to shower, I'm going to eat, I'm going to sort myself out, and then try and have an early night as well, because tomorrow is another long work day. And then obviously once I finish my work day, I will then be moving on to my next work day, which is filming content. And so just looking at the space, by the way, super random, I'm a plant mama. So I have had my plants for years, and all of my plants have names. So this is Howard. And I remember last year, Howard, before I think maybe I had like 4 leaves. And one of them I had to cut because it just wasn't working out. But last year it started to grow a baby, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that there is a new one actually growing based on the number of years that I've had it. And then also, this is Big Ken. I probably need to position him a little bit better tomorrow, but he's just flourishing. He is growing. And when my family come round, they're like, your plant is big. I'm like, yeah, I know. And the key thing is, I swear, if you want plants or you're like, why do my plants keep on dying? Just don't overwater them. Don't overwater them. Fill the soil. And if the soil is damp or if the soil comes off, like, don't keep on putting water in them because they're good. Wait until it's pretty dry. And I get my plants from Patch Plants, and they actually provide a lot of advice on how to take care of them. But don't get me wrong, I have had a couple of plants where it just didn't work out, unfortunately. And I remember when we went to Jamaica for a family holiday, this was in 2024, and I had one, and these ones survived. And then I've got another one called Rapunzel and a new one called Miss Moneypenny anyway. And one of them, yeah, just died. It was actually pretty sad. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now because you're gonna be like, yeah, she's a bit nuts. But anyway, I absolutely love plants. I definitely want more, and I will have a bigger one day when I have a bigger place. But anyway, thank you for joining me for this Founder Unpacked and my absolute randomness. So this is where you get to just learn different new things about me. Anyway, see you in the next video. Gosh. Oh.